Welcome to episode 430 of In Touch with iOS, the podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week, we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and Apple TV. All the insights from our friends, experts, and the Apple community, because here we read those release notes so you don't have to. Well, it's great to have the panel here again this week. There's a lot to talk about. Some big breaking news that just came through the wires this morning. And let's go ahead and start off with Jill McKinley. Thanks for being here, Jill. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. The weather is beautiful so far. And so it's just nice. It's a nice part of summer-ish.
Glad to hear. And Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just finished one of my 3 classes this summer,
Nice.
so I don't have to teach as much, and for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be easy, so I'm in a happy mood.
Well, good. I'm glad you are. And glad also he is here, Eric Bolden, he's got his daisies behind him. How you doing, Eric?
Good. Daisies are glad to be here too.
Yeah, they are.
Good night.
They are. And also glad to see Jeff Gamet here. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing all right, and I'm happy to be here. I get to hang out with really cool people, so by extension, I start to look a tiny bit cool myself.
All right. Well, you are cool, but speaking of cool, Chuck Joyner is here. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm good, Dave. Well, I was good until you told me something pre-show, and then it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll stay.
It did involve this dreaded company called Microsoft, but we'll speak later. But
yes, it did.
Anyway, there's lots to talk about this week, and I'm just going to get right into it because this is breaking news. It was just released this morning as we're recording this. Apple all of a sudden took the store down, which everybody was freaking out, understanding, whoa, why are they taking the store down on a Thursday morning, excuse me, and I'm wondering why this is happening. Well, what happened is they raised all the prices. Holy cow. Everybody's panicking. So after taking it temporarily down, you now have some seriously increased money when it comes to here. And I'll start with Vision Pro. The Vision Pro is now up to $36.99, the base model, $200 increase on that. All the Macs, so you got the Mac Mini the M4 Pro was $13.99, now went up $200 to $15.99. The iPads went up on an average about $100, $150. The HomePod is now $349. HomePod Mini went to $129, and the most craziest price of all is the Apple TV. A 4-year-old device went up $100. So you buy the one with
forking shirt balls.
Yeah, if you buy the one with Ethernet network connection, $249, which I think is absolutely crazy. And I didn't mention one of them that it's kind of sad it's going to happen is the MacBook Neo. That did go up in price as well. Of course, they weren't going to ignore that. So it went from, now it starts at $699 for the base model and $799 for the model with Touch ID. So we've got some increases across both those, and the watches. Those weren't forgotten either. Those went up as well, and it's just sad to see, but I mean, what can you do? And boy, did it affect the stock. The stock went down almost $30 a share this today because of these. Not even announcements. It just got noticed because Apple wasn't going to just go out and flat out announce it. So it was. I guess it's not surprising, but it's kind of sad. Chuck, I'm going to start with you. What was your reaction when you first saw this?
I'm not a good one to gauge, Dave, because I read a lot of the articles, and the sky is falling. The sky is falling, and it's like, who didn't expect this? Yeah. Apple's held the line for so long. I think they've probably used up all the reserves they had as far as RAM goes, and now it's time to raise prices. I might be the only person that is kind of happy to see the price jumps this much, because I think it will. I hope it might insulate them from having to do it again in a few months. That they bit the bullet, get it over with, and get it up there so that at least based on their projections they can maintain their margin. It doesn't make any sense for Apple to sell product and lose money or not make as much as they should. The stock market, as usual, reacts. But it seemed like much to my surprise, a lot of the analysts didn't. I guess they just saw it coming. So yeah, it's like every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go to buy anything that doesn't have a locked-in retail price, it's going up, and even some of the locked-in retail prices are going up. So why should anybody be surprised?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. How about you, Jeff?
All right, so it's been a busy day for me, and I hadn't checked any news on anything.
Okay.
So honestly, the only news, excuse me, I had seen before the show was that DuckDuckGo, their whole AI search thing, was telling people that Donald Trump had died from rabies. So it's like the only,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's the only news that I had. So Chuck's right. We knew the price hikes were coming because Apple had told us very clearly, very explicitly, this is going to happen and here's why. And now it just happened. So I'm not surprised. What I am surprised by is how much of a jump we're seeing on some products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would have thought that at least for the Neo, they would have tried to figure out a way to absorb that cost in through other products so that they could keep that price where it was. But yeah, I'm surprised at how much of an increase we're seeing on some of these products.
Yeah, no, I agree. Marty, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. I was kind of hoping, well, first of all, I'm surprised the stock took the dive that it took because this shouldn't have come this is my surprise face. This shouldn't have come as a surprise to anybody. Tim kind of tossed this out at the quarterly report. Then he came out last week and announced we're going to see some changes, and then it happens. And then, so we have this big influence on the stock prices. And so I'm surprised at that. I kind of wish they would have held the line on the MacBook Neo. $100 seems like a 20% jump, almost a 20% jump in that product just really surprises me. Mm-hmm. If they would have kind of done it proportionally, we got a 5% increase in the Vision Pro, essentially, and close to a 20% increase on the MacBook Neo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How about you, Eric?
I was forced to stress eat Oreo cookies from my Neo.
Okay,
Eric, you're my hero.
Yeah,
I was disappointed in the Neo. I very recently, swore up and down the Neo price was not going to change. I feel a little bad for Chuck because I really tried to get him to get the Vision Pro before the price increase. Now he's just going to have to absorb that.
Yeah.
Mostly, I'm worried that the phones didn't change because I'm afraid that when the new phones come out, it's going to be big.
No, there's rumors about that.
I fear you're right.
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit worried that the price increases we've gotten kind of across the board are just preparing us for the next round of machines. The new ones coming out having a further price increase, but at least then it will be less of a jump. And this is maybe transition. I am ever hopeful that they just set the new price and they'll try to keep it there, but I'm a little worried that this is kind of a give us a little bit, let us get used to it, and then hit us over the head with a bat with the next one. And that will be the stable one for a while.
Yep. Oh, and lastly, Jill.
Yeah, I'm not terribly surprised. And I think back when I was working at a software company, we said that 70% of our costs have to do, and it's going to be different with a hardware company, have to do with labor. And as each and every person gets a whatever percent raise year after year, and then all your supply chains, also get raises, but also the cost of shipping and, everything is up. And so you can't maintain the price because nobody lives in a box by themselves. And so it's not surprising. You hate to see it. Certainly someone who likes to buy gadgets, but I guess I'm not surprised with the price of everything else going up.
Yeah. We got we've got all kinds of comments in the chat here with that youtube.com/intouchwithios. So Witherbucket says everything's more expensive. Yay. And then I guess I'm not upgrading my watch or getting a HomePod and Apple TV anytime soon. Yeah. And Brian, he likes to know what the panels. He's curious about the panels ideas here. If there's an opinion, was it better that Apple re-announced that there would be price increases, or would be better just to have been a surprise? Oh, what do anybody think of that? That's an interesting.
I think definitely better the way they did it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Just did it,
telling us again and again, hey, it's coming. It's really coming. Okay, it's really coming.
Yeah. He meant,
but it's also the culture. It's the culture of the company. I mean, that sets an establishment. We have a relationship with you. We've got some bad news. It's going to be happening. Here's the bad news versus new line of Microsoft products are out. Guess what? They're $300 more. That's because it's got this really wonderful AI setup.
Oh, how exciting.
Special than that
nobody wants.
Yeah.
Speaking of Microsoft, I saw a thing a couple minutes ago. Xbox prices went up dramatically today as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Microsoft didn't announce ahead of time that was coming.
Or same with Apple.
But with what Microsoft has done with Xbox prices over the past half year, I feel like they're pricing themselves out of the market for game consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then the Steam, and my brother and I were talking about this, the Steam box, which was a Linux box to play games on, that came out extraordinarily expensive. I mean, it's not isolated, almost everything. What have you bought this year that is the same price as it was a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So, and then Witherbucket did say, which would have been nice if they let's keep the Neo the same price, being its entry level now. Otherwise, it's not so entry level anymore. And he is saying also that he was on Reddit posts as showing that the prices haven't changed on Amazon or at Best Buy either, at least not yet. But of course, they have old stock, so yeah, maybe they
old
can.
Stock.
Yeah, they don't have to raise them just yet because they're not getting any new stock yet. Then when that comes in, well, I guess I would think they'll be raising those prices, right? So that's what's going on with the price increases. It's just the way it goes. I'll still continue to buy Apple products. I don't think it's going to deter us because we can't buy hard drives anymore or solid state drives because they're insanely priced right now. You buy a 4 terabyte solid state and it could be anywhere from $500 to $700. I mean, it's crazy. That was how much they were when they first came out. 4 years ago? Now, yeah, it's just crazy prices overall with RAM and storage, just because of all this AI dominance with them buying it all up here. So, all right, let's go.
Don't you feel better about your over shopping that you did 5 years ago? I mean, I know
I do. Well, I looked around. I do have some drives here for a while, so they should hold me for. Let's hope. Knock on wood. Anything else? Anyone but the we'll move on. All right.
So Dave, I'm going to throw this is going to sound very strange, but I was reading an article today that McDonald's is under fire for raising their dollar, what used to be their dollar menu pricing to up like 30, 40, 50% on those items. And so, I'm kind of doing things to try to put this in perspective that, people are saying, well, they should have done this. They should have done that. It would have been nice if they'd done this, nice if they'd have done that. This is the economic reality we're in right now.
Right.
Whether it's the political situation, whether it's AI, whether it's the chip situation, everything is up. So kind of keep that in mind when you're passing the your decision making on Apple and what they did.
Exactly. Yep, definitely agree with that. All right, let's go on to the In Touch with Vision Pro this week. Apple did seed the betas this week. We'll start with the Vision Pro. It's beta number 2 to developers. It was for the testing purposes only 2 weeks after the first beta. You can go into the Settings app and go to the software updates and opt into the beta updates. It introduces the SAI, the more smarter, capable version of this lady that's similar in compatibility with chatbots like ChatGPT and Claude. On the Vision Pro, S-Lady can answer about anything that the wearer is looking at, and there's a new S-Lady orb that will be placed anywhere in the wearer's virtual space. Panoramic photos can now be turned into spatial environments. I know a bunch of us have tried that. And now app windows are now curved, so they'll have a more immersive workspace, and the control panel has been reorganized. So a lot of that's the same. I have not seen anything with as far as SAI. Have you, Marty or Eric? You're muted.
To be honest with you, yes, I've just started to see it. And frankly, it was because immediately following the beta 2 update, I started to get access to all of the SAI stuff on all of my devices. So I've had it for about 5 days now and absolutely love it in terms of its being able to answer more sophisticated questions in context. So, yeah, it's very cool because I've been looking for that floating orb for a while now, and I just put my headset on before this, and sure enough, there's a floating orb.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that. But well, at least we get to test it. Hopefully we'll see it across all the other Apple devices. Anything you want to add, Eric?
Yeah, I've only kind of seen pieces. So, I think it's still rolling out to people.
Yeah, my fear is consumers are going to be expecting more out of Vision Pro with this 27 OS 27. They're going to expect now it's going to transform it into something. And it's grown a lot in this would be the 3rd iteration of an operating system for it. But I think people are going to wait around thinking that now we'll finally get the magic. And I don't think their expectations of magic are going to come true on it yet and through this. I think the coolest thing that they've done with this update is being able to take your panoramic pictures and convert them into environments. And then it also creates a spatial aspect of the panoramic pictures, which aren't seen typically. And I was surprised how many panoramas I had taken that, from rooftops in Istanbul, and just how remarkable the views are now that I can wrap myself around them, or it can wrap around me, and I can get the spatial distances between buildings from looking at it. So,
yep.
But that's not going to be the thing that's going to sell more units.
No,
frankly.
No, I would agree with that. All right, then one story I wanted to pick up here real quick. Apple's Vision Pro's longest immersive concert was harder to film than you'd think. Back in March, the Apple Vision Pro were gifted a new experience called the debut of the BBC Proms, which is a 35-minute Apple immersive video concert featuring Luca Sternath performing at the Great Royal Albert Hall. It was a really wonderful behind-the-scenes interview with the director, Ian Russell, showing what it looked to film the classical music for Vision Pro. And according to Cindy, the production used a Blackmagic URSA Cine immersive cameras. And there was obviously an audio recording made, and the only video recording made of Luca's concert was immersive recording. It really just dug into the constraints of a fixed 180-degree lens, and I thought it was a really great video. We enjoyed it. You can even watch it, I believe, on YouTube, even though it isn't going to be the same experience. But I know that's great to see that it was a lot of work too, which is not surprising for it to be that long of a video. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, it was excellent to kind of hear some of the behind the scenes. It was also good because when he got to the end of the whole description, he said not only would he do it again, he was kind of looking forward to it. So there are some things he learned that he didn't have time to try something different. He said this was really challenging because the setup time before the concert and the takedown time right after the concert was really short. So that kind of added to the difficulty. Some people have asked about the sound, and doing things like adding extra microphones was virtually impossible to do because of the scheduling at that particular site. And all stuff that I'd never really thought about. And, somebody who's used to filming concerts, had been doing it for years, finding that he needed to unlearn virtually everything to be able to do this. And there were a couple hints that were given from Apple, like find a spot for the camera and don't move it. And, one of the requests from people was, hey, can you have a moving camera? Which I thought was interesting. But they did a nice job. They discussed some typical shots they would do with a camera near a keyboard, or different views of performers that would, there was a distance component that they're also told, don't go too close. I can't remember. It's a couple feet. And that was different from what they were used to. And being able to tell a camera, oh, zoom in, nope, zoom back out again. That's not an option, because you would have had to pick up the entire camera and move it, since there isn't a zoom option on that particular camera. So yeah, now I want to go back and rewatch the concert and look at all of the points where it's like, oh, yeah, it would have been kind of nice to get a slightly different view, or I understand why it's just there and not anywhere else. But I think they ended up using 5 cameras overall.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yep. So interesting stuff. But yeah, for those who don't have Vision Pro, at least you could check the video and look at the concert. I mean, it was a really good concert. The music was really, really pleasurable to listen to, and yeah, it was really good stuff.
Can I add,
Yes.
when this came out, the promotion on it, well, we all watched it. We had conversations about it and thought, this is really great. But the promotion around it from the BBC is, oh, we're going to do more of these. More of these are going to come out. And I think this video and this, the kinds of things that we found out about it is why we've waited for another one to come out. It's much more complicated to create that level of immersion and that level of work with the cameras than we just set up another set of cameras and we'll do it on the next time the band's in town. And so I think that it might have been dangerous for them to promise that these things that we'll be cranking these things out,
Yep.
And it also then makes people moan, oh, I wish there was more immersive. Why aren't they producing more immersive? I think a lot of those questions were answered through this piece.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? All right. Go ahead.
I was just saying, that's cool. I just love this stuff. So, yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. All right, let's go on to beta this week. Also, iOS 27 and iPadOS 27. Beta 2 was released. The developer beta is the public. I haven't seen out just yet, but it probably should be right behind it. It went across all of them: macOS, tvOS, visionOS, and watchOS. There really isn't much to see much of the change. They're just continuing on with bug fixes and continue to check things out. Anybody on beta been noticing anything on the iPhone? I have it on my 17E, and it seems pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not having any trouble.
Yep.
I am this close to upgrading a beta on my phone, so I'm thinking about it sincerely. But
some of the features we've been talking about, including Write with S Lady, where you can there's a button you can above the keyboard in Notes, Mail, and Messages and more. You can write with it, and the voice customizations, the Wild App Insights gives you insights of the 3 dot. It gives you reports of what your spending is and more. Apple TV did not see much. They did updated the Home app to support it remotely updating an Apple TV. In RCS, we continue to see more updates on that. And of course, we know the airport utility will be gone in iOS 27. We talked about that because it's old equipment on the visual intelligence. So there's still the same stuff that's out there for most of it. As they're continuing on to take a look at that. And as far as HomePods and stuff, there hasn't been much. And I don't think you go on beta for those, Jeff. So you can't really,
it's
screaming
flaky
yell
enough on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need to add beta flaky on top of of that.
There is
better.
Wow.
Yeah. There. I do have a link here about there's 10 plus new HomeKit features with the Home app. You get written summaries and motion alerts and what's detected using AI to determine what's been recorded. It can recognize people, animal, vehicles, packages, and general motion. And it's about time. Grouped footage. Well, you can, along with analyzing footage, the Home app can now give group footage for separate cameras capturing the same event. Highlights and search, notification summaries. There's been a good chunk of things here. 4K recordings will be available through secure video cameras and energy monitoring as well. And then they did update the remote Apple TV, the remote for the Apple TV built into the OS as well. So some cool things at home. I mean, it's long overdue. In my opinion, I think Jeff would agree with me with this. Is it just needs an overhaul? I mean, it just needs desperate work.
They need to start over from scratch, not just a regular overhaul.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm having a hard time getting excited about the new features.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, these are great features, but the fact that HomeKit and the Home app are so fragile and brittle, it, maybe fix the foundation before you start painting the place.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wonder if those were easy changes as compared to fixing the foundation. I painted my wall, but I didn't fix the house falling down.
I'm sure that's actually true. That adding in these new features, it's a lot easier than going back and fixing the foundations of this platform.
Yeah, but Apple's never had any history of putting something out, it not working well, and that. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
SAI. Yeah. And pulling it back and creating a new foundation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you, Jeff. I've stayed away from HomeKit and all of that home automation stuff because every time the power goes out, I'm trying to figure out why my things won't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the power comes back on.
Yeah. And watchOS, they got some additions including SAI is going across all the devices, smarter, more capable version of S Lady, and with some Apple Intelligence items. And they did do a new dynamic app grid that highlights S Lady's suggested apps and more intuitive smart stack suggestions. Liquid glass, of course, you got to have that to improve some legibility, but performance improvements as well. So they didn't ignore that, and it's and this was interesting. And I was going to talk about the AirPods. The AirPods Pro 3 had a firmware upgrade, and it is definitely something that fixed things as well as added the iOS 27 enhancements, which is really good. And the other thing was interesting. There was an article here about AirPods Max 2 that I don't know if anybody knows is what I'm wearing here right now. Is the new AirPods Max 2. It's getting harder to resist. with these updates, and really what they've added is some of the custom EQ settings, and it's a brand new feature for both the AirPods Max and AirPods Pro 3. You can personalize the sound profile for your AirPods, and you can go right into the settings to change that. And because it's got the H2 chip, it is available in the AirPods Max 2, but not the older AirPods Max models. So you got some enhancements there, and so that it's interesting, as well as they did some new features for the Apple Wallet. Just believe it or not. They've upgraded airline boarding passes in the Wallet app and on iOS 26 as well as iOS 27. They're coming as additional types of passes like memberships, gift cards, loyalty cards, and rewards cards that can use a bolstered poster generic card style with full background images, primary logos, and different fields. So, and then you can create a pass, which is finally, I guess you can finally Sherlock some of those create a pass apps that were out there now. So you actually can do it from in the Wallet app. And then hotel keys, which you've already had before. I tend to, when I get the hotel keys, I like to have it, but I get a physical key just in case, because you don't know if this thing is going to break. But I got to stick with the technology, but I don't want to get locked out, especially I'm standing outside the door and have to walk all the way back to the front desk to get a card.
Those physical keys break all the time.
I know, they do too. Yeah, you put it in your wallet and then it gets demagnetized, So order tracking is improved, and you got insights like we talked about. And then tap to share is going to be there as well. Some merchants will have that. So some good enhancements that's been added to that as well. So, and then macOS, Golden Gate, also known as Big Bridge for Jeff there, is they've got some multi-design improvements, like with glass opacity, as well as improved increase in readability. Again, across all the OSs, you're seeing some enhancements with AI, including the Photos app, which has got some enhancements in editing tools. And it's running good. And I've been actually running it on a second work computer, and I've been running it on my MacBook Air. And I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty solid performance. What about you guys, Marty, or anybody else that's running it?
I am running it on a bunch of my Macs. And not having any trouble,
including the Neo.
When we always recommend not to run developer betas
if you don't want to be in trouble.
So,
not on your primary device.
Yeah. Right. So, but sort of when I run them, when I'm not running them, my operating systems still screw up.
Yep.
So it's like, where do I want the screw up? On the general operating system, or if I can run the betas and see some of the new stuff and play with some of the new stuff. So, don't recommend running them, but I'm probably more liberal with that than I should be.
Okay. And
I was going to say, I have it on my MacBook Air, and it runs perfectly good. And I think it feels a little faster, if anything. And then I also have it on my iPad, which is a M3 iPad Pro. And I have been playing with some of the features, and it just feels like it's doing well. And anyway.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then macOS Tahoe 26.5.2 and iOS 26.5.2 will be coming updates soon from there, saying Apple is working on these updates in the near future. The second, of course, update to Golden Gate is already out. And then it suggests also that there's going to be an upcoming build that for devices coming soon for that, as well as macOS the 26.6 is in beta as well, including 27. So you're getting a ton of updates here all at once with different betas and different releases here. So that's interesting. Anybody have any comments about that? All right. I found this to be interesting. This was a 9 to 5 Mac article. Can you save money with a USB 4 cable over a Thunderbolt 4.1? The USB-C standard has effectively played a nasty trick on us, as he says here, especially where cables are concerned. That's because it's really a standard. It's really isn't a standard at all, but instead it's merely a common plug and socket form factor that can encompass a wide variety of ranges and capacities and standards. Ensuring that you buy the right USB-C cable for your needs has been a problem for many years now. That's because if you don't want to buy a cable and it doesn't fully meet the standards, but at the same time, there's no point in paying higher spec cable than you really need for a particular application. That's where they came in over the years. They were using things like the Super Speed SS logo. It wasn't a great success. And then Thunderbolt has long been the safest bet if you need speeds that are the standard support. But then you have to have at least you'll have a new certified cable. But if you only need a Thunderbolt cable, you may have a couple options here. And it goes through some of the data transferring of 40 gigabytes and video transfers to 2x and 4K displays and so on and so on. The only really difference between the USB 4 cable and the Thunderbolt 4 cable is Intel certification. So you're as we knew, we're overpaying for these cables, but I want these to be cables that I want for high speed, so I've been buying them. But of course, when you have a cable, I want to be able to know what kind of cable it is. So what I bought, and I've talked about this before, is this cable tester. And of course, my camera is giving me trouble. Sorry,
your camera just went out.
Yeah, it's not been cooperating here, but let's see if it comes back. Here we go. This is a cable tester. I think I've recommended this before from Treedix. This is it here, and it has all the sockets on the side here where you can plug the cable in, and it tells you what the speeds are, what kind of power rating it is. So you'll know if it's a Thunderbolt 4 or Thunderbolt 5. And it's really a great cable. I'm sorry, people with this bad camera here, but I can still keep talking. It is pretty awesome. Has anybody taken a look at this cable before? This cable tester?
Yeah, I have one right here.
Okay, good.
Right here.
I have a different one, but yeah.
Yeah,
they work really well.
This is really awesome.
I need to get one now. So
I'm going through my entire house and testing every cable, and then those tags over Christmas time that Chuck recommend that you put on cables. I'm now labeling them with what they are. And so everything that's not a decent cable is going out. And all I will have in this house are decent cables. That's USB-C. That's the new rule.
That's smart.
Yeah. Anybody else? Does anybody else have one?
Yeah. But they work well, and it convinced me that when I buy a new cable, I'm getting Thunderbolt cables because they're labeled. I can tell what they are, and they work.
Yeah, I've got one too. I appreciate some of the manufacturers of the cables that kind of print right on the little cable head what it is, what speed it is. It's just versus some of them that are just blank and you have no idea what throughput you're getting on them. So I guess if I'm looking for more cables, and it seems like I'm always giving them to someone or such, I'm going to start really looking for ones that have them actually labeled on the head so I don't have to figure out when it goes into a pile of other cables which one it is.
Or Chuck's handy cable tags.
Yeah, I've got those too. Hey guys, I'm trying to fix my webcam here. Anybody else have any thoughts on what cables they decide to buy?
I agree with everything that's been said. There's certain devices that I would like to have the confirmed higher speed, and maybe looking toward the future. But with some of the prices coming down for some of these USB-Cs, as to Jill's point, I mean, I'm almost ready to just take anything that's not labeled already and trash it, and just start over and properly label things. What they've done to us is just kind of insane. Well, this one charges, but this one transfers, and inevitably, if I dash for the door, I pick up the wrong cable, and it either doesn't charge adequately or quickly enough for what I need it for, or it doesn't do the transfer, and I just get frustrated. And it's like, I'm starting to figure out ways to fix this.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on. I am also talking about. Again, I have a link in the show notes for that cable tester there. That's a really, really good one. They have a pretty good price for it on Amazon Prime Days. So this was interesting. The new Mac OS security flaw could let hackers disable protection tools. This was a security firm XM Cyber found Mac OS technique that can that can let standard user accounts disable some enterprise security tools without administrative credentials. Researchers disclosed that the findings ahead of the planned Black Hat Arsenal presentation in August last year. It was an open source tool called XPC Hunter, and I just continue to find these crazy these hacks on this on Mac OS. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
Nobody.
Is this part of the new
fight?
Oh, yeah.
Go
Is this
ahead,
part of the
Chuck.
new world? Well, Jeff, I think we both just kind of said the same thing, just from different angles. Is this a new world where everything is going to be finding new vulnerabilities?
Mhm.
I mean, not everybody's publicizing how they're finding them,
Mhm.
and with some of the well publicized stories out there about major finds using AI. I mean, I feel like this just may be just sort of like the pricing. It may be the new normal.
Yeah. I think this
Mhm.
is a new normal. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm glad they found it. But I think you're right. I think that it is going to be a battle now. It is going to be finding new hacks and patching them fast, and finding new hacks and patching them fast. And so I'm glad it was announced, and it's going to be, fixed.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the hardest part won't be finding new ones, because they're finding vulnerabilities all the time now. It'll be trying to figure out how to prioritize and figure out which ones really need to get fixed right away and which ones can wait a little bit, and which ones are truly exploits versus something that, they just think it is and it looks good, but so it'll be a little complicated for a while.
Yeah, and we hear these stories about finding the vulnerabilities, and then you read the byline or the line that says, "Yeah, they'd known about it for 18 months," and it's sort of like, "Whoa, why didn't they work on it?" So they're making some decisions on which ones need to be addressed and how they need to be addressed. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, on a
Go ahead.
side note,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm guessing that Apple Insider never got the memo from last year that Kanji changed their company name to Iru.
Well, I think
I'm just being a butt tonight.
I know. I think our friend Andrew Orr wrote this article.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to send Andrew a message and give him a hard time.
Well, there you go. We can always rely on you for that, Jeff.
I find that people always like when you point out their vulnerabilities.
They
It brings
love
you
that.
closer to them.
Love it.
Yeah, we just laugh and laugh and
Then he tells you to go pound sand.
right, which is weird because I don't even have any sand, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
what they mean.
I was keeping it clean.
If you think this job is easy,
All right. And then one other thing I wanted to mention here. I was going to do it in the news, but since we're already here on security, there's this flaw in older versions of iPhones. It has an unfixable security flaw. Why it can't be patched and what the models are affected. It's in certain iPhone models that leaves them vulnerable. It's the flaw affects an A12 or A13 processor. So we're talking about a little ways back here. So you're talking about an iPhone 11, which still is going to be supported in iOS 27. The 10S and the 10R and the SE, I believe the second gen. It's yet another security flaw has been discovered, and Apple can't fix this one with any typical updates. It was from cybersecurity firm Paradigm Shift released the security vulnerability that discovered that it successfully exploited in older models, which is called the US Blitzer, that flaws the flaw affects its boot ROM and secure ROM code of an iPhone, which executes before the operating system loads. And exploiting the USB litter is attacking what could install their own malicious code or run authorized commands on a victimized phone. Well, that's kind of scary. Like that Apple can't even fix it. What do you guys think? Because there's still people out there who want to support these older phones.
So
go ahead, Jeff.
This okay. I'll just be super fast. This underscores just how dangerous it is if you lose physical control of over your iPhone. All security measures can go right out the window. This is a perfect example of that. This isn't something that's going to happen to you when you're in a coffee shop and your phone's in your pocket or your bag. But if someone gets a hold of the phone and they have the right tools, then it's game over.
Yep. Any thoughts?
And this is not unknown. In the Intel chips, there was a problem with the math. I forgot what they call it, the math coprocessor.
Math coprocessor.
And it couldn't get fixed. I mean, this hardware chip bugs have happened before. What was that? That was also something else in Windows that was part of their secure boot part, and it was also hackable. So it's not unheard of. I'm sorry to see that Apple had that happen, but I'm wondering too, as Chuck brought, this new world of AI, as we're able to hit things with it, will these never go out the door with this kind of mistake in the future? I'm hoping that's the case.
Yep. All right. Let's hit one more topic here. The iPhone 17 is set to break a record with no flagship has touched in 15 years. When Apple released the iPhone 17 in September of 2025, the timer started for the new flagship model, breaking a record set 15 years ago. The record will take more than a year to break, but based on the current rumors that iPhone 17 is going to be the first to steal the crown. And they talk about the iPhone 4. It had an unusually long run. That's what the record belongs to. It sold in June 2010 and remained Apple's top iPhone until October 2011 because Apple shifted it to its flagship launch cycle from summer to fall that year. So that's why it held it. So that's not fair, honestly. It's particularly frustrating time for customers who were planning to wait for the iPhone 5. Instead, they introduced the 4S, which I ended up buying both of those models, 4S and 4 and 5. And then, of course, technically it had several release moments as well, since AT&T was only the exclusive iPhone carrier in the U.S. during its first launch. Verizon followed in the second year, and then as a second U.S. carrier, and then 6 months later. So there were some setbacks. So it's got a grid here. You got 17 has been September 2025. You're probably not expecting the 18. They're rumoring that it won't be until spring of 2027. So again, it'll be extra days here. But no, I think the 17 overall is a very, very popular model. And I think most of us here, if not all of us here, nope, Mark, Jeff, you do not have it.
Nope, I'm holding out for the 18.
Yeah, got the 18 coming. But everyone else here, I think, has the 17 or 17 Pro.
No, I've got 16.
Oh, you have the 16. Okay, so I forget what you had. What's your thoughts? What do you think, Chuck?
I'll do the upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah,
we do every year.
Well, and and this is one of those things where I think you have to make a decision. Do you want to just sort of try to sit it out and wait, or do you want to take your existing phone, get the maximum possible resale value out of it, trade-in value, and just then you're paying the incremental update. The way things are going and some of the messages I think Apple is telegraphing about needing the most recent chips to run some of the top models, the top AI models, this feels like this is not a year to sit out.
Yep. I would agree with that. Anybody else have any comments on this?
I'm a every 3-year phone buyer. I agree with you, Chuck. I went and ran a spreadsheet of what would it be if you upgraded and kept getting better rebates. How much do you lose to buy a new phone every year, and how much? And I would love to buy a new phone every year, but I'm a every 3-year phone buyer. So we'll see. I also have someone who's in charge of my Verizon account who would look at me with glaring eyes if I upgraded every year. So I don't know. I want to primarily because of these upgrades, and so it's going to kill me a little bit. But I am every 3-year upgrader, and so I have to go
That's
to
okay.
20.
That's okay. Don't have to worry about that. Anybody else have comments?
I think this might be the year where I get off the Pro Max train.
Mm.
And, I currently have a 17 Pro Max, and I've got a Air, and it might be the Air, the rumors are Air will come out sometime in the spring, the Air 2.
Yeah, a year from now.
So I think I'm going to get off the Pro Max train, and if the foldable comes, that's what the track I'll be going, independent of what the camera situation is with it, because y'all know I'm not a photographer with this. And so I'll trade in the Pro Max for the foldable, and then we'll see what happens if an Air 2 comes out, because I really like the Air in terms of portability, size, movement, stuff.
It is a pretty cool phone.
Yeah.
Yep. I got the failures and as an actual user versus going to the Apple store, and yeah, it's a nice phone, but like you made the comment, if you want battery life, that's when it's going to kind of get you, right?
I'm never around a place where I don't put this phone on a cradle.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. I found this interesting. This was an iOS hacker. Why you should restart your iPhone once a week and how to automate it. Many iPhone users are unaware of the fact that restarting an iPhone can improve its performance and prevent common software issues, such as clearing temporary system glitches, improving battery performance, freeing up system resources, improving network connectivity, helping install updates regularly. The question is, how often should you restart? They say once a week. I don't know. I can't imagine I do that too often, but it does go through this continuous process when you got apps crashing, slow performance. That's when I tend to do it when it happens to that. Freeing up resources, and again, how often should you restart your device? Apple does not even ask users to restart their devices. That the experts are saying restart it once a week or two, especially when you notice it sluggish or experiencing unusual bugs. You actually can create a shortcut in the Shortcuts app. You actually can create a shortcut to automate it. I have not tried this before. If anybody of you have, you can do open up the Shortcuts app and create an automation button, and select the time of day action, and then tap the time and date that you want the iPhone to perform an automated restart. You can tap the arrow by selecting how often you want to repeat this automation. And let's say you want to do it every week under repeat, so the Shortcuts runs once a week. Now, next you tap the search actions button and type shutdown. Once the shutdown action is added, tap on it, and from the drop menu, you select restart. So when you set this up, I think this is interesting, but I don't know. Do I want my iPhone to shut down when you have it set as a timer when it happens when you don't want it to happen? So I don't know how great this idea is to do this. Would you do this? Would you do something like this, Jeff?
I don't need to do this because I'm always doing different things with my phone anyhow.
Yeah.
So I'm restarting on a pretty regular basis. However, if you know someone that never restarts their phone, actually, you know what? I'm not buying into this.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because iPhone OS is a Unix core. Unix is designed to not be restarted.
Right.
So why do this?
Yeah.
I mean, I read their little list of, hey, it'll fix glitches. Okay, well, that's very, very nondescript. But I mean, okay, sure. Restarting will clear out some caches and stuff, so you might see performance improvements after restarts. But yeah, okay. I started off thinking, oh yeah, I could see where this would be handy for some people, and I talked myself into why do this at all? Go me.
What about you, Chuck?
I don't know that it can hurt anything. I'm like you. I would be a little bit hesitant to have it restart at any given moment because it could reset or restart in the middle of something that I really don't want it to restart in the middle of. So I kind of feel like the better solution for me would be set a reminder, space it out, once a week or whatever, and just, hit that, let that pop up and say, oh yeah, okay. I'm not using my phone or I'm not in the middle of a call or something, so I'll restart my phone. If you want to do it. I'm not sure that I really buy into it completely. But then again, I don't seem to have the problems a lot of people do, and I don't quite know why. But my phone performs fine. Frankly, and maybe I'm blaming the wrong people. Maybe it is my phone, but sometimes it feels like AT&T drops my signal, and I have to restart the phone to get it to re-register in their system. Now, maybe that's an iPhone problem, maybe not. I don't know. But because it doesn't seem to it only seems to happen in certain locations, which is why I'm blaming AT&T as opposed to the phone. But other than that, this is like this is like AI trying to find a problem to solve that I can do myself. Thank you.
Yeah, Chuck, I was thinking the same lines. I'm an AT&T user, and when I restart my phone, it's because I've come back from Chicago, and it just doesn't seem to be connecting well, or the signal is, and it's because I've switched towers on my phone, and the phone hasn't caught up.
Mhm.
And so restarting it forces, or, I guess I could go in and just shut off data signal and then boot it back on. Turn it back on and do that. But I do it after trips because it's typically problems that I'm having getting wireless or cellular signals with it. And the easiest way to do that is to to shut it down and turn it back on, and then it has to find local towers.
Marty, I totally get the problem you're having, and for me, that's not that big of an issue because I have to put my phone into airplane mode after I'm on the plane. When I get off the plane, I take it out of airplane mode, and that effectively does the same thing that you're doing. It forces your phone to reacquire cell tower access.
Yeah. If I'm driving, I don't have to do that, and that's where I run into problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Totally makes sense. So,
Jeff,
Chuck, I think your problem is a carrier-related thing.
Yeah, and you bring up an interesting. I didn't even think about doing that way. Instead of restarting the phone, just go into airplane mode, wait a few seconds, and then turn it back off and see what happens.
Yeah, I do that
Yeah,
too.
I've done that occasionally when, like if I have a really crappy data signal somewhere, and I should have a better signal just from experience.
Yeah.
I'll toggle airplane mode so that my iPhone has to reacquire its cell connection, and then suddenly my 5G signal's better.
That's a great idea. Never even thought of that.
Yep. All right, let's move on to a news story, and then we're going to hit our Things Found segment. Silo has returned next week as we record here with 3 major changes for season 3. And it's going to be that's been highlighted for this season's marketing. There's only spoilers ahead, so I'm not going to actually say what it is. There's going to be a split timeline plot that will explore the world of pre-silos. And there's some major new cast additions. So we're going to have some new folks here with Jessica Henwick and Ashley Zuckerman, whose characters got a glimpse in the season 2 finale, and lots of other things. So anybody here watch Silo?
Yeah.
Yep.
So get ready for the new season for that coming up here. So, and Brian,
I watch Rebecca Ferguson, and Silo just happens to be wrapped around her.
Right.
That's fair.
Brian's excited about Silo too, like all of us.
Yes.
All right. Oops, I already said that. And then there was Brother Bucket. He said that Silo was amazing. So let's go ahead and go to this week's things we found. It was Amazon Prime Days this week. Did anybody go crazy and buy things? I did.
Lots of stuff. Well, Marty will like this. It's all his fault.
Yeah.
It's got the Logitech.
Nice.
That is the touchpad and the knob, right?
The
Yep.
media.
Yeah.
Media knob.
It's all
All right.
Marty's fault.
So let's.
That's Logitech, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's start with
And
Chuck.
it's I was going to say it's really integrated with Adobe, but
Yeah.
you can add any other.
Yeah.
They have all sorts of different touchpad integrations you can download and use. So,
Yep.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Let's go ahead and start with Chuck. I don't know why your link got disappeared, but I'll put it back here.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, frankly, I chose this, then I backed off and went to based on our discussion,
Oh, go ahead.
one of the Ugreen cables, and then I went back.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what happened. Okay.
So this is a Govee light
Mhm.
floor lamp. It's one of those ones that is just a real thin, completely thin, just like a straight up rod, but it throws an awful lot of light. It's perfect for standing in corners and then really illuminating them and let that illuminate the room. And of course, with Govee, it means that it's coming out in colors, not just white. This particular one features Matter, and so and I say will be because I have it ordered. I've had my eye on it for a while, and it is a Prime Day deal, so I took advantage of it. But it should be, well, it is Matter compatible. It's listed as Matter compatible, so that means that it should integrate with my Apple Home setup. So I'm looking forward to this. But I did have one of these for a while, and it was a cheaper one. A, it didn't last, and B, it's surprising, but the colors were not nearly as rich. I have some other Govee products, just like with the Philips Hue products, and their colors are nice and deep and rich. And so I figure, I'll take a shot at this and see if it lives up to Govee's reputation with everything else.
Nice.
But it's fairly simple. It's something that is kind of versatile. You can play with, or if you find out that you aren't really excited by all the colors, just use it as a white light, and you still have a pretty decent floor lamp for the same price.
I have the model, the lower price model, the $59.99 one, the RGBIC. Is that the one that you had before? It was the rod.
No, I had a knockoff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I still have that one back behind me here, and it's got some pretty good light, and I do like the Govee app, but I would prefer to use it in the I use it in the home app, but I also put it on a light switch, so I turn it on and off from the light switch too. But you can do both ways. So no, good pick.
Yeah. So
Jeff, what was your pick?
My pick ties into us being at max stock in a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
And also ties into my workshop that I'm doing on that Friday. And this is a book. It's called You Can Draw in 30 Days, and it's by Mark Kistler. And Mark has put together a really great book that has just like step-by-step exercises that you go through to learn all these different techniques for drawing. And since my workshop is about using our iPads for drawing, well, there you go. This just seemed like a nice little book to include for that. It is not an Amazon Prime deal. However, Amazon's selling it, at least right now, for 47% off.
$11.
So it's like $11.50 for this book. And if you're looking for something to help you learn more about drawing, this is a great book. If you already have been drawing, it's still a great book, because it's just a great little tool to use for practicing and refreshing and just working on your technique. So, and it's a great price.
Sure is. Good pick. And Eric, you got a couple of ones here, or do I see a couple links here? What did you pick?
One. Oh, it's one thing, but
Okay, I'll just look at.
time.
I see it.
So, and I haven't even had a chance to order it yet. I came across it and it was on my list, and
Yeah.
since that, I'm always looking for outlets. It's like a constant thing, and then figuring out where to attach them, and then running out of desk space and knocking the outlet off the edge of the desk, and then having to go back to look for new outlets. So this is an outlet clamp. So it clamps onto the side of the desk. It has 6 AC outlets, 2 USB-A, and 2 USB-C with a built-in surge protection. But it's the clamp on the table so it doesn't go anywhere that's the feature.
Yeah, I actually had that in my cart before you said anything to me about it. So, it's I kind of like it. And it looks I really like the fact it's got the tray there, that the plugs on the top, and then we have them on the back and as well.
Yeah.
And plug things in, and you got USB-A, USB-C ports right there. Good pick. And who do we got here? Marty, you got some shocks open runs here.
Yeah, I am a big fan of these ever since COVID, because when COVID came in, I was online all the time, classes, teaching, meetings, and the plugs in my ears started to cause, like, I don't know, blisters and some issues with it. And someone suggested try bone conduction headphones. And they wrap around from the back. For those of you who haven't tried it, I wish I could buy you a pair of these. I have a colleague that I do Tech Savvy Professor with, who is an online teacher, essentially. So he's doing all of his meetings online, and he got these things and he loves them. I like them because it keeps me also contextually aware of what's going on in my environment. And so if something happens with the dog or something's going on outside, I can give reference to that. And my problems with over-the-ear headphones is because it creates that echo in my head, because there's so much empty space there that I can't tell how my projection is. With the over-the-ears, the bone conduction, nothing's plugged in my ear. The sound quality is really amazing. They're extremely light, and I can carry them on my head all day long. And if you do carry them on your head all day long, by the end of the day, when you're ready to do Dave's podcast, sometimes the power is a little low and you don't want it to run out in the middle of a podcast. So I keep one set plugged and charged and swap it out as I need to swap it out. The reason I purchased the second set at this time was because my other second set, the button after 2 years wore out on it, and it was hard to turn it on and off. So it's like, let's see what's going on. Well, it went from $180 down to $125, and I went, okay, let's grab it on Amazon days. So comfort, sound quality, remaining in context. I can keep these things on my head as I go downstairs in the kitchen and cook. I enjoy these shock products, and there are other varieties of this. I just like the pros that wrap around the back versus and then over the ear, but you can also buy ones that are just over the ear ones. They have a whole selection of them, but my favorite is the Pro 2s. So,
Very good pick. Jill, you have a good pick here.
Yeah, and boy, I love everything all of y'all bought. So I love the Open Shocks headphones. So I was having back problems. Not only that, I was having elbow problems when I get on my computer too much up here in my recording cave, and I just had it. It didn't fit in my other chair anymore. And I said, I bought a cheap chair. I sit up here all the time. My back is killing me. My elbow's killing me. And so I got the FlexiSpot Ergo X premium chair, which you see behind me. And it's bigger. It goes all the way up, as Marty was talking about before the show. You can take this off. So if you didn't want that there, you could take that off, which I might because it gives me bad ears. Notice it. Anyway, so I might take it off in the future for recording, but it has a kick up footstool, so I can this actually reclines back if you wanted to, and then kick up the footstool, and you could watch TV. I could record and just sort of chill out, and everything is adjustable on it, and so I'm incredibly short. This works great for me, but it's also would work for someone much taller because almost everything is adjustable in it. And right now it's $229, and it's normally I got it for $299 because I was stupid and didn't wait for Prime Day. And yeah. So anyway, I love this chair and I recommend it. But it does have if you look at it online, it has a very beefy lumbar support. So it is pretty, you can adjust that as well, but it's still a pretty strong lumbar support. So
yep.
There you go.
All right. And then my things I found is first was a Ugreen. Ugreen makes great stuff. This is for a Mac Mini. This is the M4 dock. I had the Sateki one, and I wasn't really happy with it because not enough ports, and it just wasn't too overly excited about it. This one is pretty nice, and the price is right because it was on Amazon Prime. Basically, what this is it's a SSD enclosure. It's got 3 USB-A, 10 gigabit USB-C data port, and then SD card reader for the Mac Mini, the M4 and M4 Pro. So you can put an SD card up to 4 terabytes into it. It's really nice, plugs right in, and only design flaw I might think is it's got this little plastic latch instead of the one that Sateki has that they grooved it out so you can just stick your finger in here. This one has a plastic lever that pushes up to if you need to hit the power button on the Mac Mini. But beyond that, the price is right. It was only it's $50 right now on the Prime days as we record this. So this was a really cool item for your Mac Mini, for those of you who do have it. And this one, yeah, I gave in. What can I say? The price was insane. This is the AirPods Pro, AirPods Max 2. If anybody didn't notice, I've been wearing them all during the whole show tonight. These are the midnight color ones. It's $399. It's normally $549. That is an insane price, and I've never seen them this cheap. And I'm not going to be putting them in the freezer like our friend Jim Ray does because these aren't going to work. So, but real good quality. I mean, I definitely noticed the sound differences, and now I'm looking forward to the on iOS 27 to be able to personalize equalization. It's got the adjustments, including noise cancellation, which is really nice. It really locks it out, just like the AirPods Pro do. Yeah, they're nice. And right now, all the other colors are pretty much sold out because I'm noticing that only midnight is left. And I picked the one that apparently was still available. All the other colors looks like they're sold out. But I would say by tomorrow, by the time you hear this, I would probably say this price is going to go back to regular price, sadly. But they're selling it like crazy. It's a bestseller. So, these are great. And Marty, I think you have a pair, right? The AirPods Pro Max or no?
I don't have the 2s.
Okay.
I have the original ones with the little dongle that you can stick in and charge it sits in a charger and does that. I think they're exceptional sound quality, but then again, for me, I don't have an environment where I can just kind of completely tune out here at home. So, yeah. I used to wear them on planes, and then we got iPad Pro or the AirPods 3 that the noise cancellation quality was of such a good quality that it was carrying a small little case versus carrying the headphones on. So, I've kind of pulled away from that.
Okay. All right.
It's tempting. Believe me, I'm easily tempted with stuff like this.
So was I, and I gave in. So
yeah, but it's like, I don't know if I should get this so it can sit at the side of my desk and not be used.
I still hate this dang bra.
Yeah.
That is a weird case design.
Yeah, it is. So Well, great. I think we had some great picks this week, and I think maybe we spent some of your money. The links will be in the show notes if I didn't share them. Everybody will have the link to be able to check out all the things we picked this week. But before we go, I can't believe it. It's 13 days until MacStock. We're going to be together in 13 days. This is just crazy. Less than 2 weeks. MacStockConference.com. It's MacStock 10. We're going to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of that, as well as we're going to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of this show. Hopefully everything works out. We're looking to record a show Wednesday night before everything is going on, but we'll see how that goes. But you got to come see us. The theme is Inspire. And if you want to meet and see all the great people like on this panel and all our other friends, like Dave Hamilton will be there and Allison Sheridan will be there, and so many others. So come see us. You got 3 full days of talks. You'll be able to have some bonus fun. We're going to have David Pogue is going to be there on Friday. He's speaking, as well as he's going to have an evening with David Pogue, as well as you can get your book signed or buy his book, Apple: The First 50 Years. So check that out. There's going to be a book signing. There's 2 paths. There's the weekend pass for the 3 days, July 10th, 11th, and 12th. But if you're a creator like I am and many of us here on this panel, you can also hook up with Ecamm. Ecamm is sponsoring the event, as well as going to have their creative camp that's going to be an add-on on Thursday, which is the creative camp, which is full access to their workshops, hands-on training. You're going to meet all the great people that work for Ecamm. Doc Rock will be there. Katie Fulks will be there. And a number of others I saw on the list that are going to be great to meet. First time, the Ecamm fam is awesome, and I've been loving using this for the podcast. So come check it out. And I'm even going to be going to the creator camp in the fall. They have one in New Hampshire. That's their 3-day event.
Cool.
So I've already bought my ticket, and I'm going to. This already inspired me to go to that too. So come check it out. But if you're not interested in that part, you could just come see us for MacStock. So it's MacStockConference.com. And if you sign up, it's getting close. So it's going to be towards the end here. Use the offer code INTOUCH at checkout, and you will save $50 on the price of admission. So it's MacStockConference.com. Come see us. We'd love to see you, and we're going to have a blast. So with that, let's go ahead and find out where everybody can be found. Let's start with Chuck Joyner. Thank you, Chuck, for making it. I know you had a busy day, but I'm glad you made it. How can people find you?
No, thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me. Let's see. So MacVoices.com is where you can find everything. Just this week, I finally published the last interview from NAB.
Nice.
So things are getting a little bit more back to normal. Of course, we're doing the Road to MacStock, talking to the presenters, and maybe 1 or 2 surprise guests along the way, if we can wrangle them. Yeah. And with only 13 days left, there's still people we want to talk to. Yeah. Our live show, Mac Voices Live, is Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV, and you can contact me on any or most of the socials at Chuck Joyner. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Chuck. Thanks for being here. Jeff Gamet, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And where can people find you?
Well, thank you for including me. It's always just so much fun. Okay, so you can find me on my blogs, jeffgamet.com and freshbrewtales.com. And then on social media as J Gamet on most of the services. I'm active mostly right now on Mastodon, PixelFed, and BlueSky. Then for shows on Chuck's Mac Voices Live on Tuesdays, here with you for In Touch with iOS on Thursdays. Brian Chaffin and I, we do the Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch. And then, of course, there's the Tech Hangout on Friday mornings that a bunch of us are involved in as well.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks for being here. And Eric Bolden, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.tl, which is where all these background pictures come from. And Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook. Mondays on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live. And, of course, Thursdays, finishing out the week here on In Touch with iOS.
Great. And Jill McKinley, thank you for being here. Looking forward to seeing you as everybody else. Where can people find you?
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you all too. I'm so jealous of that conference. I want to go to that, but I probably won't. But you can find me at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. I have a brand new podcast, or relatively, it's 13 episodes in, about small steps with AI. I talked about how I used it to fix my backyard, how I had it help me change my performance review. I mean, it's all like day-to-day stuff that you can do without getting into vibe coding or anything else. It's just real life human experiences. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Last but certainly not least, Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
Sometimes I want to be least. Just not least. I just want to be least.
Certainly not least.
Marty, you
just go to the Pod Talk
book.
Yeah. Go to thepodtalk.net, and you'll find links to the podcasts that I do, the shows that I'm on, and projects that I used to do that I'm not doing anymore, and primarily Vision Profiles on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Neo Notebook on Sunday nights, Chuck Show on Tuesdays, Dave Show on Thursdays, and the Tech Hangout Friday mornings. So, and then a slew of other podcasts you'll find at thepodtalk.net.
Great. Thank you, Marty, for being here. Appreciate it. And that's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on BlueSky and Mastodon. It's at InTouchWithIOS. Support the show. Buy me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you are notified when we are live streaming, which is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intouchwithios. It's great to see Brian in the chat and Witherbucket and many others that were in the chat. Really appreciate you being there. You can watch the live streams, and then the live streams, I leave them up there afterwards, as well as listen to past shows. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Overcast, and many others. You just go to our website, which is intouchwithios.com. You can find all the links there to listen to this show. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on the following shows: Sunday nights on Neo Notebook, Monday nights on Vision Profiles, Tuesday nights Mac Voices Live with the crew here, and Thursdays we record in Touch with iOS, and then the new show, the Tech Hangout with Patrice Brennemore and the gang on that new show. That'll be episode 3 coming up this coming week. Can't wait to do that, and it's a lot of fun. And you can find me on Mastodon and BlueSky. It's at DaveG65. So with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We really have a blast doing this show, and hope you come back next week. Until then, we'll talk again soon.